Welcome to Base E and natural log functions. Let's get started. Right, an exponential function with the base E. Remember, exponential function we've written as y equals b to the x. This b is the base. So when we have a base E, that's a natural base exponential function. So natural base exponential. See if I have room. Exponential function, and it's written like this: y equals e to the x. Because if it has a base e, we put it right there, it's just e to the x. Okay, now e represents an irrational number, and e is a little button over next to the 4. If there's an ln, which we're going to do today also, and right above it in the blue letters is an e to the x. So that's how you use it. You have to push second and then ln to get the e. And if you were to put in e to the 1, that will tell you what e represents. And it should give you 2.718281, some kind of irrational number. So you're going to have to get used to using that e to the x and ln, so make sure you know where that button is on your calculator. So go ahead and plug in your calculator e to the 5th, so second and then ln. Should bring up the e, and then you put a 5 in that exponent power. And then same thing, e to the negative 2.2. And once you've done that, this is what you should get, 148.4. And e to the negative 2.2 is 0.111. So we're just getting used to using that e button. Okay, now logarithm with the base e. And remember, logarithm we've been writing as y equals log, and then we have that little base to the x, this little number down here. So now if we have a base e, so it means we're going to put the e here on a log. It's called a natural logarithm. And it's written y equals log e to the x. So we put that e as the base. Now this log e right here, it is a natural log, right? Because it's a natural logarithm. So you actually have that button on your calculator, ln to the x. So this is a natural logarithm. So again, that button is next to the 4. This time you don't have to push the second because we don't want the e to the x, we just want that ln. So when you type in ln, it'll pop up on your calculator, and then you can put in 4. So again, we want to get used to this button right here. So natural log of 4, if you put that in your calculator, you should end up with 1.386. And then try putting natural log of 0.05 in your calculator. And you should end up with negative 2.996. And since we're just solving for x here, equals 2 to the 2x. You divide by 2, and you end up with x equals negative 1.498. Make sure you've practiced that in your calculator just so you get familiar with that button. All right, so the natural log, which we've said is y equals ln x, that's a natural log, is the inverse of the natural base exponential function, which is y equals e to the x. So what that's saying is natural log is the inverse of e to the x. So we know regular log is the inverse of the exponential function. So that makes sense that a natural log is the inverse of the natural exponential function. So we can still change forms. This is an exponential function. It should have an equals 5 here. And we can do that heart to turn it into a log form. So we know we want to change it to log form. And then we go start at the left. So E5 equals x. E5 equals x. Now remember what I said about this log e, that it's natural log. So then what happens is you have ln 5 equals x, or natural log of 5 equals x. That's how you change the form. So e to the x becomes a natural log. See, they're still inverses of each other. You go through changing that form with that heart. So I'll do another example here. We want to change it to log. So e6 equals x. So oops, I wrote that wrong. It won't let me erase it. So I'll just write it in a different color. So because we start here, e6 equals x. And remember that log e is a natural log. So natural log of 6 equals x. So go ahead and try to do these two. Go ahead and pause the video and try to change these two into natural log form. All right, and so you can make sure you did it right. We've got log base e 9 equals x because we're doing this changing the form with the heart. And then log of e is just natural log 9 equals x. And over here, log base e 12 equals x. And this again, natural log of 12 is x. So we're still using that same changing form process that we've done before. So here now we want to change to exponential form. Okay, so right now we're in natural log form, or in log form. We want to change to exponential form. Remember what I said ln is? It's just the log base e. So if I rewrite natural log as log base e, then I still have my x equals 0.6931. So all I did was change this into log of e. Now I have a log form that I can change in exponential form, the way we've been doing it. E to the 0.6931 equals x. And now it's in exponential form. Try number 10, pause the video, try it, and then check back and see what I do. So natural log is just log base e, and then we keep writing the rest of it, x 0.5352. And then we change using that heart that we've done before. E to the 0.5352 equals x. Now one last thing about natural base e and natural log is that we can use them to, quote, undo in order to solve the problem, or to solve for x. So let me show you what I mean by that. Here we have a natural log 5x equals 4. So over here you can convert to base e. I'll write this here. You can convert to base e. So what that means is if I put a base e and raise it to what's there. So all I did was put an e in front of here, raise it to the natural log of 5x. But whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So e to the 4th. Now what happens is that your e and your natural log, they cancel each other. So all you're left with now is 5x, because that's the only thing left, equals e to the 4th. Now you can find e to the 4th in your calculator, remember? You just use that button, second ln, which is that e to the x, it's a little blue, it's written in blue, and e to the 4th will give you 54.598. Still has 5x over here, divide by 5. Now here you're just solving a simple equation, equals 10.92. So the tricky part is canceling out that ln, because you can't put natural log of 5 to the x, you can't put an x into the calculator. So we can cancel the natural log with an e. Whatever you do to one side, you put on the other, and now you just have an equation to solve. All right, so now let's try this other example over here. Just like on this side, we had a natural log 5x, so we had the natural log alone here. We want the e to the x, or e to the whatever it is, alone on this side. So we've got to start off doing just a regular algebra equation, which is to get this part right here by itself. So we subtract 2, so that way we just have 3 e to the x equals 2. Then we can divide by 3. So now e to the x is equal to 2/3. And now we want to get rid of this e to the x. Remember, the e and the natural log cancel. So if we add this natural log e to the x equals natural log 2/3, because whatever you do to one side, you have to put on the other side. And now, again, this ln and the e, they cancel. So you just have x equals the natural log of 2/3, and we can put this into the calculator using that ln button. And when you do that, you find that L equals negative 0.405. And that's it. Now remember, if you're still stuck on any of these or still confused on any of the stuff we just did, go back and rewatch and pause and try some more of the examples. Watch some more of the video if you still don't understand it. Then you can come back into class with specific questions that I can help you with. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. See you soon.